But welcome to Polar against LAN in the Deathmatch World Cup 5 qualifiers. I'm here with Zayu. We have Berbers against Hindustanis for game 1. We just talked about how much I'd favor the Hindustanis because of their crazy Imperial Camel Riders. Which Berber Camels might be cheaper, but they're also kind of trash against the Hindustani Camels. And it is a 7 stable opening for Polar and a 9 stable opening for LAN. So LAN knows how to play this, and I think that's pretty better. That build order from LAN should win this.
Are you live, by the way?
I'm live.
Yeah, okay, so yeah, he's also going for market, so this will be a really crazy strong camel push, and I think this will most likely work out.
I think so too.
Well, Polar already has a castle on 50%, so if he can manage to not lose that many villagers, then and get that castle, or maybe both castles at the front up, then maybe he has a chance. And so far he has only lost 3 villagers, if I see that correctly.
I see that LAN killed 5 villagers and lost 2, so...
Oh, okay, so the difference is 3, I meant.
Ah, yeah. You're not uncaptured, yeah.
Yeah, and the castle is up now, almost.
Can I check an Imperial Camel? Yes, they attack faster as well.
To see how the pikemen will work out, but I don't think they will do too great. I would prefer maybe some onagers even.
Yeah, especially if like the siege elephants come in, onagers can be really helpful.
Yeah, to defend. But okay, now LaN has just a stronger army by having the stronger camels.
And he's looking to take the map very swiftly. I like that. But that's not a great fight. I think there's not numbers that LAN wants to fight in.
It's a really bad fight for LaN.
Just throwing some camels away. But bill count is 13-7. Market was stopped by Polar. And how much is the market? I could still sell food. Berbers can afford to sell a little bit of food. Maybe Polar can still do that.
Yeah, that's a good fight for LaN though, now in the middle.
Yeah, with the stronger camel, Polar fighting against the hill. Feels like game losing fight if anything. He's adding pikes.
Okay, KD is even so far, which is good for Polar because his camels are cheaper. But again, LaN got the market, so...
Yeah, like that's because LaN threw some here. But LaN got the market, the map, and the village account.
No camel archer production. There's just one camel archer in queue from Polar. But Polar, why?
Yeah, not even sure if adding camel archers too early. I feel like against Cyclops I switched to camel archers too early. And then you just get overrun by the camels with only 20-30 camel archers, so...
Why do you
more
build
camels might actually not be that bad. Yeah, that's a good question.
And why do you not queue camels then if you said you wanted to go camels?
That's also a good question.
Okay, maybe if he says he has 3 castles, he doesn't need to build army.
I mean, it's a good static defense to have 3 castles there.
Yeah.
And later on you want to go camel archer, so you need some safe castles anyways, right?
Yeah, well... Those castles are not protecting anything except from the buildings in your base. And there's like, okay, there will be castle on the right hand side and on the left hand side as well.
Yeah, the problem with the castle is also like if LaN will eventually castle this hill, right? Maybe even the hill here to the left. And then they're pretty easily to trap down.
Yeah,
back
those
to the hill.
left hand side will be a great spot for attacking and right hand side will be a great spot for raiding.
Yeah. I like the onager additions. Now also onagers for LaN. Who has collected a relic already? Oh, I don't like that raid from Polar. That's just reducing his camel numbers. But I mean, I guess good reaction from LaN. That's why it's looking that way. If there was no army at home, it would have looked way better.
Just scouting. Just passing. Oh,
and
no,
now it's only camel archers and Deskulam riders. That's over.
Well, not over, but he just killed all the onagers for free.
Okay, it's not going under the castles. The camel archers can jump in, so yeah, they survive. I was fearing that he would try to fight that. Which Polar went Japanese? Yes, that would have been a good pick. Hindustanis are like made to crush Berbers, yeah. Because you have the camels and then you have the, like, some form of eagle, right? With the elite Ghulams who even have somewhat of a bonus against Cavachers. Because Cavachers stack up well and they have their range damage thing.
Yeah. I mean, they're so easy to play. You just need to mess up camels and then a couple of Ghulams, I guess, and then siege to push. That's all you need.
Yeah.
But yeah, eco development a bit better for LaN here, who is out of food though, but has more farms. Middle is kind of stalemate-y. One side's protected by three castles, the other side's protected by the hill and 60 camels.
3 relics as well for LaN. Polar already tried a raid with 13 farms. I see Polar doing that a lot, but still not the biggest fan of it.
Yeah, denying the food eco from the Hindustani player is a good thing, but he himself doesn't have much food to work with and to build an army.
Midas saying make 150 camels and 5 traps and should be GG. If he had the food, he could also go for the elephants, the ram elephants. But I guess he has wood and gold right now, so traps make more sense. Only 1 trap survives though. Bombard cannon gets some kills there. But the army is just way more position heavy for LaN. And now with the Onager edition, Polar... What can Polar do to stop that? More bombard cannons, I guess?
Yeah, if he can sit under his castle with bombard cannons, yes. But those bombard cannons need to get a bit closer to the traps, so the onagers can now shoot them. This was a really good fight for Polar. He lost a castle and probably will lose another one, but the fight was really good for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's losing 2 castles.
Give me that on the front line. Yeah, 2 castles for all the army though. That's a good trade. Depending on how the game goes, but he has at least some equal protection castles to the ultra right. The southern corner isn't protected. Sounded too political, but Polar is following up on after the army deletion here. Is making traps as well and coming forward with them. Maybe you can make something happen. But now the Ghulams are coming.
He's going for the raid again on LaN's farms. And there are no raids on Polar's side, so he's completely safe with his eco.
Yeah, but raiding with camels?
Yeah, it's expensive.
I think he needed the camels in the middle to defend against the Ghulams and make this push. Like,
he's still doing the push.
Polar's raiding too much, and like he's only 15
repairs.
farms against like it's at least still 40 by LaN.
Well, he has a lot of farms, but they're not being collected from. I'm not sure if there was a raid that I missed. Maybe there was. His castle
a lot of them aren't built. He's now adding more.
Well, on the right
but 5 traps
like,
you can't out repair that.
There like 15 farms, no, 10 farms not being gathered from that are built.
Yeah.
Okay, back to the middle though. LaN took the position on the hill and the Ghulams will just now thread through the army from Polar.
Also nice onager
shots. Yeah.
I'm just still wondering if the castle will stay up or not. I think it will stay up, sadly.
Yeah, I think so as well.
Yeah, now the camel archers had... Oh, the camel archers went back, so they're not protecting the traps, but they're still all dying to the Ghulam because they're stacked up and the attack through damage. If you don't micro your camel archers, Ghulams are really good because they just surrounded them and then always poke 2 camels at the same time, or 3. That looked very impressive for like an ad for the Ghulam unique unit.
Now we have champions for the Berber player here, which are just super weak.
They're good against Ghulams, but they're not great against the camels.
Well,
are they fully upgraded? They're fully upgraded at least.
No, the champions? No, they're like 2. Well, yeah, they are. Sorry, I was confusing with
Malians.
I'm not sure. No,
Malians? Black armor?
Okay, if they have full armor, then it's not too bad.
Titars, maybe.
But-
Ganji's
but
suggesting
there's
you meant
still-
Titars.
Still like dying really badly to the Gulams.
Yeah, because the Gulams are masked and with 5 champions. Plus the Imperial Camels, I think, are good against champions, against generic champs.
Yeah, I was confusing it with Tatars, right? Because they have only one defense upgrade.
Yeah. 3-2 relics, so Polar at least got 2 of them and added a castle at the right side. And he's managing to make it a long game against Hindustanis, and that's already success of some sort. LaN is overbooming a bit. Oh, both are overbooming. Polar's overbooming even worse.
Well, they're fighting a lot, right? So
Yeah, but they're fully popped
yeah.
in resources. They're looking. Polar should delete villagers. His resource count is looking really nice.
Yeah. I like his Onager addition. I mean that he's constantly building so many. He's getting some really good shots on the Gulams. And there are not many camels alive for LaN. And if he doesn't go for a big camel army, then in Mars the camel archers plus Onager, if micro duel, should just be better. And now there's cavalier raids from Polar, which I really like.
Hi, bro. Cavalier
Could also go
raids?
for light cav.
Where? I don't see any cavalier raids.
Right hand side.
Ah,
I mean, he should maybe micro the raid a bit better, because right now they're doing nothing. But
but why do you like cavalier raids? Why not
they're
Hussar?
a bit more tanky, and they're cheap as well for Berbers.
Still like
But yeah,
50
Hussar
gold.
would be cheaper in the long run, obviously.
Bruce saying Berbers #1? Do you think Berbers are good in this matchup? Like Polar's playing that like they pretty play like a mirror. They're playing map control pretty well, but I feel like Polar should have a harder time here. Bruce the troller boy says Genji. Okay, I agree with Genji then.
Watchtowers now on the left hand side.
Yeah. Classic Polar. Polar loves his towers. It's guard towers. Polar loves his
now
guard
he's
towers.
sniping.
Yeah, I think he doesn't do watch
traps with the onagers. That's really nice.
Saw some target fire off the castle on the Onager. Also nice from LaN to target fire that.
Miss micro the bombard cannons though. Just sent 2 bombard cannons into the castle. Probably missed right click there.
Hey Cortical, everybody's here today. Lovely. All the royalty, if you wanted to do it so. Even Hezzy.
And the gold is getting really low for LaN here. He has
That's a problem for Hindustan.
1.3k. Yeah, there has some 1.3k to mine in the east, but other than that, he's out. Polar, on the other hand, also doesn't have any more gold except for the 1k in his bank, so pretty equal in gold count. But he still has 29 camel archers, and some cavalier compared to not many gold units from LaN.
Has 12k on the right side that LaN can still mine. Not 12k, 1200.
Yeah. Now an aggressive castle by Polar here. He's constantly sniping the siege from LaN, but now
An aggressive
not sure
under
if
the
he
hill
can
castle.
get the trap down.
But I
It's
guess
getting
it's fine
repaired.
if he wants to push towards it. Bombard can would be helpful for that. Kill the villager, not the crab.
I'm not sure if I agree with that castle there.
Yeah, I don't think I do.
At this
I
point in the
understand that he
game-
wanted something to push, but it's very
this
much
point in the
against
game,
the... And against
think-
the other hill from the right too. Nice move from LaN to trap from that hill as well.
Yeah. I think at this point in the game it might just be better to try to control the wood at the side. So right hand side there's not much wood, but left hand side there are some wood lines, so maybe build a castle there. And also protect your farming eco more, but there's just no raids from LaN at all. So eco from Polar is pretty exposed on the right hand side. And left-hand side could be raided as well. I think that would have been a better option here, and I think from what it's looking, Polar is just taking the game.
He is, and from this point on, yeah, Burvers might be better. I tend to agree with Genji. Like, it always depends on if unique units can still be produced, but they're melee, so Camel Archers are the key. And yeah, the castle fell. I'm Polar. Let's just make 3 guard towers instead.
Yeah, I don't know. I said I
That's
don't
classic
like the
Polar
castle,
thinking.
but I even less like 3 guard towers.
That's almost the castle, right?
Well, half a castle, yeah.
Oh, it
I
looked
guess-
like it was a bomber tower for a second, but it's a bomber tower cannon behind a guard tower.
Yeah, it's looking really
LaN
good now
adding
for Polar.
another weird castle, losing that one, and that castle I think should be closer to the wood that LaN's adding on the right side right now. Left side is empty of wood, a little bit at the top, and LaN preserving the back gold around backwood against his monastery. That's lovely. And he has a lot of gold on the right corners, a lot of wood. I'm always saying gold. I'm always talking about wood right now. A lot of free wood at the right side too, and Berbers are more wood dependent than Hindustanis. Hindustanis kind of don't use wood for anything.
Look at the villager rush, right hand side. Getting ready to control that wood line with a new
With a guard tower!
watchtower. Guard tower, yeah, right.
I think it will go up even though that camel. But also big attack from Polar in the middle. And he has taken that really nice hill there. At least with his army.
This is traps now.
If he made less guard towers, he could have made a castle on it.
Yep.
And here they come. The big blue things. Standing
Yeah, I
proud
think
on the
pikes
hill.
Pikes are decent now. For Polar.
Well, Polar needs something against the ram elephants, the siege elephants. That's the reason for the pike, right? Other than that, I don't think they're decent. There's a lot of golems. Why is he
just
going back with the
something
siege elephants? There was nothing threatening there.
I mean, the Hussar just died to everything, so they shouldn't really be fighting. The pikes don't die at least to the halberdiers so quickly. So.
And the instrumental of doing the bonus damage against the siege elephants, but I feel like the siege elephants
against the
could move in more because he has protection against all the units that Polar is doing. The camel archers don't do anything to them,
It's
and
only
he's
three,
just
though.
moving them back and forth. The fourth all the time. They could kill the tower. There would still be arrow sponges there. I guess he just wants to use them as arrow sponges, but that only works if you have ranged units yourself. And he doesn't have any ranged units, so the siege elephants are taking damage and he's not doing anything.
Now LaN is finally going for the raids.
Ah, nice direction by Polar. Instantly seeing it. 2 wills will still exposed, but the rest saved. And actually, Polar's guard tower push is controlling these 2 woodlands. He's getting wood there.
Yeah. I mean, just one siege elephant could have destroyed those towers. But yeah.
But maybe LaN not raiding Polar is actually down to analysis. Because if LaN watched the set of Polar against Miguel, then he would have seen that Polar always makes 150 villagers, and then you kind of don't want to raid. Wait, there's a pause? Is there a gate somewhere?
Probably just
Or is it just a
something
pause?
from just a pause, probably.
Okay, just a pause and Polar saying all okay in game. LaN paused. It's the guard towers, he got scared, those elephants seem to be in my control. How are you controlling them, Cortical? Classic back and forth and then dead. Classic onager micro from zone, no onagers in zone boy, pure DM, go back to AK. Hydra says I see a bomber tower. Where do you see a bomber tower? That's a lot of guard towers. all Gatos are the same type.
I would just want to say that both civs cannot build bomber towers, so there is no option that there's a bomber tower here.
How would I know if the Civ gets bomber towers? I never make them.
I just looked
You're
it up.
all just exposing yourselves by knowing which Civs get bomber towers, guys. Ah, he had auto defensive mode on, but that actually helps against the pathing bugs. A little bit. Maybe that's why the Rams were never attacking and the Siege Elephants were going back and forth. Honest caster, Hydra. Honest caster. Right? I stick to my convictions. While you secretly spam Turk bomber towers all the time when nobody's looking. Oh, after the pause, the game's choppy. Huh? LaN calls the GG? $130 pop and Polar's pushing.
I guess he doesn't have an answer to this Camelot push. And he has no more stone to repair that castle on the hill, so that will fall, and then with that...
That's a lot of
his
eco.
eco.
Yeah.
And also he just lost...
Polar cleaned all the wood lines. Yeah,
yeah, exactly.
The raids. Really nice play by Polar.
Yeah.
Really, really impressive. Like, with Berbers against Hindustanis holding that and doing a lot right after that. Yeah. Really strong. Like, if Polar keeps playing like this, maybe even sweet. Okay, I'm getting too far ahead here. I'm jinxing Polar. But good start by Polar. Better KD. But that's the Camelot late game, right? LaN had a little bit more resource collected. Polar taking more wood, but it's logical. He needs more. And yeah, both overboomers. 155 to 158. So LaN overbooming even worse than Polar. And that looks like I have a game to coach. So we're moving to LaN's home map now. After Berber's impressive win against Hindustanis, we will go to either Haboob or Prairie. And hi X Factor, rooting for Polar, going well so far. So what do you think we're gonna see now?
I
asked first.
yeah, you were first. Okay. I'm gonna say we will see Haboob, and on Haboob we will see
You're still thinking, right? So X Factor, thank you so much for the gift sub to Gleip.
Japanese against Teutons.
That sounds like two standard Haboob civs. Polar could go. If Polar's... yeah, Sicilian's not good against Teutons, yeah. No. Sounds good.
You think that could happen?
I think that could happen. Has it actually happened?
No, I don't know.
Do I have the wrong code? I sent you the code, but I can't find the game.
Oh yeah, now the game's running.
Oh no, I sent you the right one. So it should be the right one.
Yeah, I have it now. I was off.
It's Prairie. Malians
okay.
against Huns.
Yes,
that's
for
great
Prairie,
for Polar.
For Prairie, I would have definitely picked Huns. And then...
And Malians.
Or Malians. So yeah.
Oh, could have been Magyars. Right? I would have thought Huns was Magyars, I think, at Prairie.
I think you picked Magyars on 4 legs.
Game paused again?
Or Serengeti.
Okay, LaN's confused that there are 2 scouts on the map, but he picked his at home map.
I thought that
he
picked Huns intentionally here because you don't have to build houses, so your start is just way better.
Yeah. That would make sense, but he didn't, obviously.
Okay, let's watch the start here. So Polar trying to get villagers, and he'll probably get one here. Oh, actually pathing good here for LaN. Now they're fighting the Paladin. On the other side, though, Polar lost.
But
Did he
with the
lose a
scouts
villager?
doing
No,
the
he didn't.
same thing, it doesn't feel good. Your eyes are not deceiving you, Genji. Indeed, CC is as last pick, and Zayu here thinks it's a genius strategy by Polar.
Yep. Okay, so let's see.
I think it's just Polar
here.
forgetting Sifs and thinking at the end of last. Oh shit, Sicilians! Oh shit, Sicilians!
Yeah.
We can ask
probably
Polar
looking
after the games.
through the sieves, like, what's left, and then. Let's see. So we have 4 stables, 8 ranges, and 7 barracks from LaN here. So very, very big build order, I would say. And
mean,
it's
the
just
later-
not doing too much. Very tight build up from Polar.
7 stables, plus you have the arrow shooting TC.
Yep.
Mains are really good against rushes and really good against Huns.
Yeah, and they're
The
equal in villages
Cavachers later
now.
on maybe, but
Equal in villages now, which means that Polar actually caught up, and now he's even killing some villagers going forward. So he's actually ahead 3 villagers now. So really well done by Polar so far.
yeah,
Only
that's looking...
slightly behind the military number.
Yeah, LaN is wasting a lot on the rushes without getting anything, right? So that's good for the military numbers of Polar. And obviously having Malian camels against the Paladins is also really nice. The Cavachers not rushing, like, I think Cavacher rushes, like, would be more effective, and LaN is still sending Paladins forward, like, he still hasn't corrected the gather point from the raiding stable.
No. And Polar should really not commit now. He should really go back and try to defend from that big push that the Hun will have now. Yeah, but he's losing a lot of camels here in the front.
Yeah.
I don't really like that.
I could have at least killed the villager. Okay, we'll get the villager. But there's no siege workshops from LaN yet. LaN is making TCs before siege workshops. So the push won't be as deadly.
That's true, yes. But he could have still had like 40
there's a
camels
market.
more now, compared to maybe 10 units or so of LaN. So he still has twice the army right now in Halberdier and Cav Archer. And the siege workshops from Polar were also kind of late. He still doesn't have an SO out, and he's losing his Cav Archers now for free.
Polar got the market first. And deleted it, it seems. Because I can't see it.
Yep.
Are both second goals in the corner? Yes, that will be very important. LaN is castling it first. 2 secondary stones are on the left.
Map is so empty. There is nothing in the middle.
Yeah.
And then everything on the right hand side. So good job by LaN controlling the right hand side already.
It is a bit weird. Yeah. LaN is really committing to that right hand side. Sending army over there even during the fights. I mean, Polar's not contesting it. Oh, Polar is actually contesting it. So that's gonna work out. It's maybe too much army, but you never know what your opponent is doing, so.
And now we have a solid
LaN's
number of
not playing
SO
for
at
the
least.
push. I
he
think the
doesn't have
window
any
for the
siege.
hunt push is over.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
tried to make the forward siege workshops, which I liked after he forgot them, but it's too late.
But Polar's Polar's the better army in terms of units, in terms of unit quality, but he's still 50 pop behind, and now he's just losing his honor just for free because he didn't have the.
Better nearby.
Well, like some.
You
at
treat
least.
the better too far.
Yeah.
But yeah, I won't lose that much.
He's still 50 pop behind, so it's kind of risky to go for a push. And now he's getting. Ah, okay, his CCs are up, so Eco's not getting too late, delayed too much here on the right hand side.
It's just 1 or 2 villages falling for a few paladins. That's quite alright. Castle here is up. They're very, very cautious. Maybe like with them being half an hour late and 2 hours and these two players, it's not enough to have 2 hours. But we still got 1 hour until the next set starts. A lot of CA for LaN. LaN is 80 CA. And I would say it makes sense. If he can keep them alive, it's the good unit he has against Malians. Better trying to hunt the traps, but I have to go back because of the CA. And LaN is really playing for that heavy resources right side here. And Polar's villagers again. Polar just randomly sending 6 villagers to build a tower. Polar, man. There's army, there's a castle. You saw that there's army before, but no, let's build a tower somewhere. Maybe you didn't see the castle before. Which position do you favor here? This Polar is pushing through the middle.
After those orange shots, probably Polar.
Let's have map control. But yeah, that the characters are at least alive. He's bringing the inner Suna with him. That's a commentary to the slow games. Yeah. He's not walling this time. So listen to Keller's critique of the walls.
Oh,
Cavaches around us are always so dangerous, but let's get Osa didn't do anything.
For Polar here. He's now pushing into the main gold. And it's looking really good for him.
Yeah.
Bedo's doing a lot of damage. And there's GG. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of a safe win.
Yeah. I guess so.
LaN was too late for the big push, but the big push is also really hard to do against Malians. Raiding is hard to do against Malians. Not really sure what Hans can really do here. Amazing KD, 400 to 200. And Polar outside, more villages. So smart drafting paying off, and Polar played that well as well. Besides that random keep. And 2-0 lead for the Suno clan, who formerly was the underdog. And we are going to go to Haboob now. So we might look at another quick game. Maybe my theory of this set going long is wrong.
Well, it goes long because they started so late.
Yeah. Yeah. True. So yeah, you already predict Teutons against Japanese, and I agree with that, right?
Yeah, I could also be Teuton Sicilians. If Polar just wants to go for Sicilians and doesn't care. I would say Teuton Sicilians.
But if he speculates that LaN is going Teutons, you don't want to go Sicilians against that. You want to have Japanese, and if you lose it, well, then you get a free win with Sicilians, right? So.
Well,
I mean, Spanish can do
win,
something. Maybe Spanish aren't bad.
Yeah.
But Aztecs and Khmer are bad.
Yeah. But I think he picked, I mean, from the home maps that he has, Four Lakes and Serengeti, I really see Magias on one of the maps. And on the other map, well, at Four Lakes, I guess Japanese could also be pretty good.
Yeah.
So maybe Sicilians is
Bulgarians
also
can
an
also
option.
be okay, I guess. And Sicilians, I mean, Sicilians are also good on 4 legs. It's a short map. You start with a castle and castle creep. And
Yeah, true.
I'd pick Japanese here and then Megas on. Like, I would imagine Megas and Serengeti, Sicilians on 4. I think that's the smartest with this draft that Polar could do. Atlanta kind of has to go Teutons, otherwise he's dead. Oh, nah. They're doing Sicilian students. God damn it. God damn it, Polar. I still think it might make more sense for him to go Japanese, but... Are they not doing spec delay anymore? They had spec delay on the first game.
I can't even find the game.
I can wait at 1 minute and 7 seconds. Ah, but we can't really sync up because you're not on Capture Age.
I can fast forward once I find it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't see it.
I
right
just
now.
cast it for now.
Yep.
Starting with, not with a castle, but with 2 barracks initially for Polar. As LaN is student starting 4 stable and 7 barracks. The big problem for Sicilians is ETK Siege Ranger eventually, because they don't really have an answer to that. So that's a lot of military buildings, kind of, for a very defensive Sicilian start. I kind of don't like both build orders. So like Sicilians need to be aggressive in this. Okay, now Polar is trying to get the donjons up, but that could be denied by the paladins.
Why don't you like 4 stables at 7 barracks? I think that's pretty decent.
Oh yeah, if you expect the Sicilians to go aggressive, that's a good answer, yeah. I'm more confused about the barracks before the castle by Polar. Probably wants Helvetiers with the sergeants. Yeah, alright. But he's not getting any donjons up in the middle right now. And we have a new version of Haboob that's way less campy, because we reduced the woodland size by a lot. So it should provide way better games in the Deciders. Mulder said he's not sure about the 3 defensive castles. Yeah, I imagine one could have been on that hill, right? Fighting for control in the... I feel like if the map control is even between both civs, that's good for the Teutons. It's not fully even, but it's somewhat even-ish. Traps are out for Polar. Maybe if you can deny that castle, that would be nice. Yes, donjons in front of that. Donjons also killing siege onagers. They're really far into that game. I'm gonna slow it down. Are you in?
No, I'm watching a stream right now.
Ah, okay. If you're not trying to go in anyways, then I just...
I'm trying, but doesn't work. Can't find it.
Not even with the link and the one?
Yes.
Okay. No. What? I don't see a single Teutonic Knight on the field. LaN! It's your winning unit, but I guess there's a lot of SO over here for the Sicilians. Fighting over the donjons, and Polar's not looking too shabby here. Now the paladins are coming, moving at the speed of a champion, if I see that right. But not eating any shots, lucky for LaN. At the left-hand side, a lot of paladins surrounding a crab host, I want to say, but it's a donjon. But LaN's losing quite some castles. And no castles, no ETK. I mean, there's no ETKs anyways. He had made a lot of champions. I feel like some of that could have been, but he made traps for a good bit, but some ETK I think he could have made.
Ebola has a really strong trap push here. He's just killing all the castles. Oh, okay, no, losing some traps.
Killing another castle. Hi, Captro. Polar's really playing really nicely today. Like, the starting build order, a bit questionable, but what he did after it, like how he's controlling his army around those 2 little hills that he donjoned, looks pretty impressive. And there's First Crusade, I guess. I see a lot of sergeants coming from the back of the base. Yeah, he did First Crusade. And we'll kill the trebuchets here.
So 60 sergeants will just run through.
A lot of them died to that, so...
Well, okay.
But I think it will in the end kill
traps
that
are down.
castle with the traps. And the traps are down, yeah. Yeah, casting from my stream, so I was a little bit behind.
Oof. Oof, yeah, it is. Okay, yeah, I'm a little behind. A bit, not a little behind. A bit.
Ooh, nice shots on
behind.
the siege just. And now it's slowing down a bit because all the castles of LaN are gone. LaN has one castle in the back, and he's trying to make another back castle. All the other castles were killed. And like Polar's thinking is probably, I don't want to face ETK, so I want to kill all the castles. Little does he know that LaN never thought of doing ETK. I mean, he probably knows by now. But now there's no meat shield for his 13 trebuchets. Well, attack rounds can fix it, I guess. And the donjons. LaN is at 70 population. Ooh, we talked so much about 3-2, 3-2, and now it's a sweep. Whew. Polar, man. Very impressed. Very, very impressed by Polar. Lot of criticism for how he played against Miguel. And I mean, it was a great set, right? I also think Miguel looking stronger than LaN. At least in hindsight. Polar overbooming less, only in game 1. Not making stone walls anymore. See, who knows? Stone walls are bad. You win without them. And controlling his armies really, really nicely throughout the set.
Well, he used all that stone in the Berbers game to build those guard towers. So.
Yeah, but that's its signature strategy. Yeah, I don't
No,
mind that.
I don't mind guard towers as well, actually. I think they didn't do that much in that game, and especially those in the middle are just not that great. But those at the sides to control the wood lines and to be annoying at least can be good. Okay, sorry, I had to close my window.
Hi Polar, phew, I did not play as best as I was quite nervous with our early starts, but I think my picks worked out good. And Polar wants to come in for an interview as we have some time to get into the next set. And I want to do some interviews in the Deciders when it's possible.
Go for it.
So, you want to join me? I would just go to like streaming 1 in DM Gaming.
Okay.
Polar streamer, so it's able to access that. Oh no, let's go to casters. Casters in DM Gaming. I can drag you in if you're not automatically getting in.
Okay, will do.
And Polar, you're listening too, I guess, right? We are in casters. Mr. Polar! Congratulations! You're saying you didn't play your best, but I was really impressed.
Yeah, that first game. I don't know what it was. I think it was because he was running late. Like I was sitting here just waiting to play, and I was getting more and more nervous. I was like, "Oh, here we go." And then I sort of mucked up my starting build order in the Berbers game. Like I did misclicks of the hotkeys, and I thought I'm dead here against Hindustanis. But I don't know. I just managed to kind of pull through it and kind of forget that I was kind of playing a tournament game and just treat it like any other deathmatch game.
It's really impressive to me to win Berbers against Hindustanis. Because like you're saying you weren't happy with your build order, but surviving the start is really hard in that matchup.
Yeah, I kind of knew I had to get the camel archers out. I think if Berbers are going to survive against an early Hindustanis, and I also tried to take the market, but I saw he took it, so I fully knew what was coming. I feel like he could have killed me, in all honesty. I managed to snipe an early villager. I think he sent one early out to, obviously, to build on top of me, and eventually he did. In fact, he built everywhere on the map, and I was in my little corner, but I just knew the longer the game went on, and I noticed he didn't really kind of try to raid me, and I feel like that's always one of my strong points. And I felt like if I could just keep raiding, distracting him, I should hopefully be able to push him back, which eventually I did.
Yeah,
I agree with that. Sorry.
Okay, go on, Zayu, please.
Okay. I agree with that. He didn't also really try to raid you, and when he did, you were always on point, reacting immediately. I think your eco was a bit exposed on both sides on the map. I mean, there were some castles, but the farms itself were quite close to the TCs, but a bit far away from the castle. So I think he could have done something there.
Yeah, I agree. I'm trying to get a bit better. I think that's one of my weak points is protecting my economy sometimes. But I was just well, he's really good at RM as we know, so I felt like I had to spend a lot of time because he kept trying to drag my kind of army away, and I saw he had onagers and trying to do like the attack rounds with them. So I sort of kind of rushed my farms a little bit, but yeah, it's something I always try and improve in my game.
Yeah,
Maybe you could build some guard towers in the eco.
That's true, actually. I mean, I
They fit
stopped
very
building
well.
stone walls. So if you did you notice that I didn't build stone walls?
The
yes,
guard towers
I
fit
just said
very well.
that. I was very happy that you didn't do stone walls this time, and that's why you won this set. Like a
Yeah,
little
I
bit
was thinking about
ironically,
doing
but I
house
think
walls.
without stone walls it looked way better because your eco actually was better protected.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
definitely.
um, but I want like you talked about the raiding, right? And your own like what I've always find a bit odd is like you tend to raid very early,
Hmm.
and like for my understanding of the game, that's like kind of too early. Sometimes also with like more expensive units. But you consistently do that, so you must have really good reasons for it. And I want to hear them.
I guess, well, Zayu, you've played the game a long time, and me personally picking up tips from watching games and also casting and watching such as your cast. I'm always a big advocate for raiding whenever possible. I always people you are sort of when is a good time to raid, and my simple answer is if you're feeling confident, because sometimes if you can get some early raids to disrupt their economy early on, it can be a real hindrance, such as delayed TCs, delayed farmers down. It takes the kind of distraction away. And I knew if I was in game one, if I was to constantly face him head on, his focus is purely going to be on that middle. So that's why I tried to branch off as quick as possible. So hopefully he was distracted looking at my raid, so I could try and push back that middle hill, which he got. So it works. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but it paid off.
All right. And your second characteristic is the guard towers.
Yes.
So one time there was you built again one you built a castle in the middle that was kind of under the hill, and we were not the biggest fans of that castle. I was trying to push to get on that hill, and then the castle fell. Well, landed really well attacking that from 2 hills, and they just put 3 guard towers there instead.
Was that in game one?
Yeah, it was game one. Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes I feel like whenever I see guard towers, I get this sort of feeling they put me off a little bit. Like sometimes I don't want to go head on into them. So my theory is if I'm feeling that, then maybe other players might be feeling that as well, because it can be like very cautious to kind of patrol into sort of like I don't know a load of guard towers if they have an army there, and it's another obstacle for your opponent to push you back from, if that makes sense as
Yeah,
well.
it actually kind of worked really well because there was these 3 siege elephants by land which just refused to attack the guard towers.
Yeah, I
Me a
saw.
bit.
Yeah, I saw that, and I also learned. Like, I learned actually from DM World Cup 3, watching I'm Coming, where he was one of the first people I saw on stream who started to guard tower wood lines. And as we know, these maps have been modified, so when you've been
Yeah.
like both of you and everyone else doing training, the wood is extremely important. So I've tried to get in the habit, if I do have extra stone, to start doing early guard towers on the wood lines. It also helps, obviously, gets control of the wood, but you can also see maybe any incoming attacks or forward progression by your opponent. So don't ban them. That's what I'm saying. Don't ban them.
But maybe the next tournament I do it just ban them for Golden Swarm.
You could you
Because I
can
think
you can
Golden
ban
Swarm is so much
Korean
fun
and
without towers.
Japanese. Ban Korean and
Okay.
Japanese. That's fine.
Yeah, I remember used guard towers on woodlines is something I don't like. Maybe
Yeah.
Zai, you have a different opinion, but I used to do it a lot in the past as well. I kind of detrained myself from it, training for Ragnarok a lot, where like I didn't think of towers at all. But yeah, Zai,
Yes.
if you have more comments or questions about game one, please go ahead. Otherwise, we'll go on.
Not really. I was just a bit confused about the 3 guard towers in the middle. I mean,
Mind
like
games.
usually when I don't get keeps, like I'm a bit hesitant to build those guard towers because they're just not as strong. And then in the middle, especially, this felt like I'm not sure what you're trying to protect there, because you have your army there, you have a castle there, and there's not really any rest to protect except from one woodline maybe.
that was his main push. So as I mentioned, I was hoping it was deterrent, because if he had pushed me and I lost those 3 front castles, I think I was done. Because then he's got a free reign to walk in my base, more or less. So I was just trying to build anything, hence why I put up extra siege workshops. So it was
Yeah.
just more of a deterrent, really. Maybe I can just build buildings instead.
Yeah, I would think that is true. Yeah, maybe some houses, some siege workshops.
Yeah, I agree. Noted. Noted
I'm
for
not.
the
I'm not
next
sure.
round.
I mean, obviously they still do damage, but for me, if it's just a guard tower and you build 3 of them, then I feel like you might as well just build a castle, which you did earlier as well.
Yeah, yeah, I agree.
Yeah, but I can see the psychological aspect, and they can be really annoying to push against because traps miss them and stuff like that. But yeah, game 2, I don't think we need to talk about that long, because I feel like it's pretty much of a civ win, and you won that by drafting.
Yeah, because I know from the fact with LaN, I did research also. You could say probably I'm going too much into it. I did research on like his DM World Cup 4 and 3. And I know for a fact he's an old school player and he likes to go Franks, Goths, Huns, etc. All the fast civs. He doesn't like playing the slow civs. So that's why I banned what I did.
That's a ban explanation. Okay, yeah, we were also talking about
And
that.
I wondered why he banned Mongols, because he's picked them a lot so far in this. So I knew from my draft, I was super happy. I knew he was going to snipe Saracens. I was going to take Slavs, obviously, and he only had 1 SO civ as Aztecs, which I could easily probably try and counter. But yeah, it was a civ win. I had a feeling he was going to go Huns on it. I don't know why. He's played it in every series of this World Cup so far, and I just had a feeling, big map, he was going to do it, and I got lucky, I guess.
A nice analysis. So now, I have another draft question that also Chat
Sure.
wanted me to ask earlier. And Zayu had a very interesting theory about that. So I want to confront you. Like,
Yeah, ask away.
Zayu's, like, you picked Sicilians as the last pick, right?
Yeah.
And Zayu's theory.
Don't say my theory.
Okay, please say your theory.
No. Just asking
Okay, why did you pick
what's the reason?
Sicilians last?
I was looking at the draft. Do you know the thing is, like, you're gonna laugh because I know Zai's theory is gonna be not what he's thinking, but I always forget to pick Teutons and Sicilians because they're kind of down near the bottom of the Civ draft, and I just forget when I look in.
I win.
I forget to see him, and then I realize I was actually thinking he was going to ban Sicilians. And I was looking at the picks, and I was thinking, oh, he's good. I just noticed Sicilians his last pick he's going to take, and when he didn't, I was like, okay, I'm throwing him in. But that's the reason why, because I forget they're down the bottom. Hence why I usually forget to pick Teutons as well.
You win.
So I said, I'm sure Polar just completely forgot Sicilians. I was like, oh shit, Sicilians. That was my theory. So
Every
I'm
practice draft I've done, everyone bans Sicilians, so I wasn't even I just completely forgot about them, but I got lucky there with them.
It's also kind of an effect of you banning only fastest, right? A lot of people ban the SOSs and then always like the Sicilians are gone. But Zayu thought you had a genius plan of knowing that he didn't know Sicilians were good. So
Yeah, that was actually
you
it,
tried to
yeah.
spare the picks and do them last and get them for free.
Because when I was thinking, right, I looked at these maps, I was thinking, oh, Haboob, or might go Magyars here. But then when I remember Sicilians, I was like, oh my gosh, they should be a good one to go for Haboob. And yeah, I got lucky getting them.
Yeah, but like good one for Boop is like we were also talking, like I was convinced you would go Japanese because Sicilians against students isn't that great of a matchup.
Yeah.
And
I
you
thought
would
he was
get a
gonna go
great matchup
Spanish.
after that.
Yeah.
You thought he would go Spanish?
I thought he would go Spanish because he doesn't really like, as I mentioned, playing the slow siege civ. So I thought Haboob is a lot closer. He's just going to go for a rush market. So, yeah, but he went Teutons, which surprised me, which was kind of good for me as well, actually, because I knew I couldn't really be rushed.
Why did you add 2 barracks before the castle in the Sicilians game?
I've seen this strat. I've seen Frost do it. I have to be honest, I've not played Sicilians too much, especially in kind of 1v1s, and I saw Frost do it because my worry was, as we know, you're much closer now with the modified, 3 tiles closer in Haboob, and I knew he was going to open Paladins, and I was thinking, with Sicilians, if you put all your villagers on a castle, on the smaller map like that in general, the scout would always get to you first. And I was thinking, I really don't want to mess around with garrison and kind of villagers all the time. So I thought, if I go for a barracks, I can get that up and then focus on one castle. I knew once I got one castle up, I was fine, but I spanned the barracks because I saw his opening of stables. So that's why I was preparing for kind of raids around the back and stuff. So yeah, I need to work on Sicilians, but that was why I did that build order.
Okay, thanks. Zayu, I've bantered enough against you. You may ask questions if you want.
I hope someone clipped that I win was really epic.
It felt like a bigger win than reaching round of 32 for sure. If I would not be as happy if I happen to win against Keller. I would be more sad if I happen to win against Keller anyways. But never mind. I
What I'm really
win against
happy
Keller.
is that means that Suno is going to qualify regardless now because of the bracket I'm in. So that's good all around. So I'm more happy about that really. Suno is going to qualify.
No, we didn't let Zayu talk again.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, go for it.
No, I don't really have any questions more yet left. I just wanted to congratulate you again and say that you played really well.
Thank you. Yeah, I was very, very nervous, and I don't know why. I get better as the game goes on, but yeah, it's something is kind of hard. But yeah, I enjoyed it. The more the games went on, I enjoyed it. So yeah, and thank you for casting, both of you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, I actually wanted to ask about like the bracket question next. You already
Yes.
like kind of come to that, and obviously big congrats, right? It sounds like you did prepare for the set. You analyzed your opponent and everything, and so it's great to hear that and see it working out, right?
Yes.
And now you have to play one of your friends.
Yeah, friends? Who? Hazzy? Harry? They're not my friends. Not just.
I thought Harry was your friend at least. I'm not sure about Hazzy.
Do you know what? I think that would be a good series. I mean, Hazzy has been really on form of lately. Fortunately for Harry, he's been very busy with work and he's been on vacation, so he's not been able to really play or train. But
it's Harry saying, "What the hell in chat?"
Yeah, no pressure.
You just lost a friend.
But I think half of these things is the drafts. If you can have a good draft and you get an okay Civ matchup, or you get the Civ advantage, no matter what seed you are, unless there's like a massive discrepancy of skill, I think you can do well. So I think it will be a good match. I mean, it'll be good to see these two slug it out. I know they've practiced together games and stuff, and Harry's actually done quite well in a few games I've seen. So we'll have to see.
I have like 5 possible things to say in my head, and I don't know which one to say. I wonder what's going on in the Suno Umkleidekabine. What's Umkleidekabine in English, Sayu?
Dressing room.
In the Suno dressing room tonight after you won the game and lost your friends.
I've been booted out the dressing room.
They already had the champagne cooled for you and everything, and now like, oh fuck that, and threw the champagne in the bin and everything.
But you'll be casting that series tomorrow, right, Otter? I'll tune in for that.
I for sure cast the Zayu set. I'm not sure if I have enough time for the second one.
Oh yeah, I do. Oh yeah, I've just seen your schedule thing on your stream. Okay.
I just put all the matches there. It's not like I'm gonna cast all of them.
Okay. Okay. Cool.
But I hope somebody will cast it. Maybe I will. Like, I'm casting 2 sets today, so it's a lot.
Nice.
And Suno in the main event. That's nice.
Yep. Yeah, now I can relax a bit and watch the rest of your stream.
and thanks for coming in, Polar. That's actually the first winner interview that I did when the viewer numbers have been going up during the winner interview. So you must be really loved. Even though you don't consider anybody your friend, but they apparently still love you.
No, I really appreciate you casting. I appreciate Zayu co-casting. He always has. Both of you have really good insights, and it's good to give advice as well. So I definitely know that about the farming. But yeah, keep it up. I'm definitely gonna just chill out now and watch the stream and watch you guys just dominate the casting again.
Much deserved, Paula. Thanks a lot for coming in, and congratulations again.
Yes, thank you, Zayu and Otter. Speak to you soon.
Speak to you soon.
See you soon.
Bye-bye.